Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a screencast-matic presentation and recording for the second half of the World Packet cycle that we're currently on in World Cultures. Please remember that for full credit, you have to write down the question and the answer, and please remember to format your answer content in a different colored font. Remember that you can play any part of this presentation for detail, clarity, or repetition. Let's go ahead and get started. From Monday and Tuesday, what are some noteworthy facts about Italy that make it truly a noteworthy country? In this particular lesson, we looked at the cultural components of modern-day Italy. We also looked at aspects of culture, geography, and history too. Let's go ahead and get started. In terms of location, Italy is a country in southern Europe. The country itself is located on a peninsula in the Mediterranean Sea. Some people might say that Italy looks like a boot. However, when you look at it on a map, you can identify its cultural importance too, being at a center hub, if you will, between west and east. Also, in terms of geography, the peninsula that stretches in the Mediterranean Sea inculcates a lot of different early civilizations that turned into city-states. About 75% of the country is mountainous as well, which in many ways has defined its rich culture too. In terms of provinces, Italy is divided into 27 regions, with the capital city being Rome. There's also 5 regions that have autonomous status too, which means that they're not technically part of the Italian government and under their jurisdiction per se. There are also many other major cities and points of notoriety in Italy, like Rome, Milan, Naples, Florence, and more. Many cities today in Italy have a cultural balance of both modern and historic feel to them, and many people who go to Italy enjoy that type of, I guess you could say, dynamic. In terms of demographics, there are 61 million people in Italy, making it the 6th most populous in all of Europe, and 92% of the country is ethnically Italian. Although you might notice some differences between different regions of Italy when you go from one place to another. Also, in terms of culture, there are many languages inside Italy, and there are many cuisine aspects and attributes and fashion trends that are really popular with Italy too, not just, of course, from the many name brand iconic stores that you might be familiar with, but so much more. Italy is also well liked on the world stage and has many allies abroad. Now let's go ahead to the next question of the day for Thursday and Friday, where we looked at a different country. In Thursday and Friday's lesson, we essentially examined France. What are some noteworthy facts about France that truly make it a unique country? In this lesson, we looked at the cultural, historic, and also geographic features of France. Let's go ahead and get started with the answer to the question of the day. In terms of location, France is divided into 2 parts: metropolitan mainland France in Europe, and the many overseas French regions and territories that they have. In terms of geography, France is located in the western part of Europe and surrounded by 8 Western European countries. It's located near bodies of water like the Bay of Biscay, the English Channel, and the Mediterranean Sea. In terms of regions, France, or metropolitan France, is divided into 13 regions, and you might notice that each region has its own cultural identity. In many places in France, you might have each region have their own cultural flag that they show and bear quite proudly. In terms of culture as well, France is known to have a well-designed metropolitan layout, with many cities being well-planned and, of course, well-kept. They have a rich, vibrant atmosphere, historic and contemporary architecture too, that many tourists just love taking photographs of. In terms of demographics too, in France, there's 67 million people, and the breakdown essentially goes like this, where 85% of the population is white, 10% is North African, 2% are Asian, and French is the official language. Although you might notice, yet again, there are different dialects within each different region. Now, the impact of France is quite interesting too, as France is seen as a successful democratic European leader and somewhat of a beacon of hope for many countries in the EU. And France today is also an ally to many countries in the world as well. They're known to be a relatively friendly and helpful country too. So there you guys have it, all the answers to the questions of the day. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good luck with completing the rest of the corresponding lessons that coincide with the warm-ups.